about to get into some secrets. It's about to be good. Okay, so if you think you have what it takes to get on reality TV, we've got our next guest who knows a thing or two about getting those folks on TV.
We are welcoming casting director Rita Koutsoulis this morning, who's a Stockton native, but decades in the business. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting.
Okay, so you worked on shows like Deal or No Deal, which is like a game show, but there's other different types of reality shows. Give us kind of the brief layout of the different kinds of shows that you cast for and the different requirements.
Sure, yeah. So with reality TV and game shows, there are all different types. So game shows, I've done a ton of game shows. There's also dating shows. Like I did 2 seasons of Are You the One? And then I worked on Biggest Loser back in the day. I've done a couple like home renovation organizational shows, cooking shows. So there's so much out there right now, like kind of at your fingertips that people might not even realize that it's easier than ever to get on reality TV these days.
That's what intrigues me. So you said that it's easier. Why is it easier now to get on these reality shows than it was like, say, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah, so for example, for Deal or No Deal, back then we would have to hold open casting calls. So we would travel across the US and sometimes we'd have 12,000 people show up and they literally would have like 20 seconds to sell themselves to us.
And you would see every single one of those people.
Oh yeah, we would have to put up a sign that said like 12-hour wait at this point.
Oh my gosh.
And sometimes they would have only 10 seconds to sell themselves, which is so intimidating. But nowadays everything is done online for the most part. So someone could just fill out an online app. You could do a self-tape. I always encourage to do that. And you have a good chance of getting a call back because there's so many opportunities right now.
So what like, I know it's obviously complex and every show is different, but is there like generally baseline few attributes casting directors are looking for in people, be it for a game show or a renovation show or something?
So it all depends. I would say find your niche, whatever fits what. If you're a good cook, obviously if you just bought a house that needs renovating, or if you just want to be on a game show, the key is usually authenticity. We want people to be the best versions of themselves. So even if you're doing a self-tape, be yourself but amplified. We can read if it's phony, if you're trying to be someone you're not. And it's like you could spend 30 minutes filling out a form, doing a video, and it could change your life. It's totally worth it. I just encourage people to do it. Like if you have a favorite show that you play along with, you're like, I would rock this, apply. Like so many people just don't and they just think it. But I now more than ever, it's easier to get on shows.
You find, so go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, what would you say out of the shows that you've worked on? What would you say would be your favorite show to cast people on?
I love the talent-driven shows. So like I did like the queer version of Are You the One? And then we did the global version the next year. When it's awesome to finding kind of the people that fit, you know, the certain boxes of what we're looking for. I did a couple shows for Hallmark Plus that were so feel good, like dating shows, wholesome, and it's great to find those authentic people that viewers just want to watch and can relate to. Exactly, that like captures the hearts of America. So there's so many. It's too many to really say a favorite.
How has social media changed the casting? Because I would imagine people are much more comfortable in front of a camera than they were 20 years ago.
It definitely helps. A lot of times when I'm scouting, I find people from TikTok, from Instagram. A part that's not as good is a lot of time content creators are very in their head and like they know what to say and they're almost overthinking it, where we want those real people that'll just be their authentic selves, and we could like see that. So but it's changed the game and people are a lot more comfortable in front of the camera, but we also don't want them to feel too rehearsed because we like real people.
Because I wanted to ask you, what are the like when you see, because you said, you know, you've got a little more than 10 seconds now because you can do it on tape, but let's be honest, you're probably only going to watch 20, 30 seconds, and you know whether or not you want this person. So what are some don'ts? When you see this, you're like, this isn't gonna work.
When someone is like trying a gimmick, or it feels like very forced and they're trying too hard and they're like not being themselves. If they're also too quiet and timid, obviously we want for TV, we want kind of loud personalities, you know, for depending on the show. And obviously like a home renovation show, if the space doesn't work, unfortunately that person won't work, you know, but you never know unless you try. But it's like, put yourself out there, be yourself. Try to be camera ready. It always helps, you know, like look your best self. So that's why I keep saying like, show your best self. So yourself, but amplified, like,
And you mentioned the authenticity thing, because I feel like if you're putting on an act, and let's say it's a home run of it, you're not going to be able to hold this act up for the entire shooting time.
Exhausting.
And so like it needs to be something that you can sustain and that's yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the idea behind it?
Yeah, and especially with like the house reality shows too. It's like so quickly you discover those people because you can't keep that up for like 24/7. You know, there's cameras rolling. So yeah, that's why it's important to show up as your true self because they'll figure it out, if it's not you.
I always love a good horror story. So without naming names or shows, can you give us an example of where you cast somebody and then the show starts shooting and you go, oh no, this is not the person that we thought it was?
Thankfully, nowadays there's really intense background checks that they go through and psych testing and stuff like that. So I think back in the day we ran into some of that, but then they've kind of changed the game. And right now it's so important, to do that background check to make sure. So it's happening less and less, thankfully. But there's been those moments for sure.
So if people want to get on a show, can they contact you? Can you help? Can you help them? How does that work?
Of course, for my shows, I will post on my website and on my online. So I'm starting something next week, but I'm sworn to secrecy. A game show nationwide. I'll probably come back or send you guys the details because it's exciting.
You left us a little crumb.
Yes.
So now we got to follow the trail.
Totally. I will be in touch. But I would always say just look at the source, like the production company or the network or the casting company of whatever show that you're dying to be on. Never pay money though, because there's scams out there. So you should never pay money to apply. But yeah, a lot of times it's like shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, it's year-round casting. So fill out the link if you know someone or if it's a good fit for you. I always encourage to
and
just
then
try.
hopefully my bosses aren't watching. I've always dreamt of hosting a game show. Can you help me with that?
Ooh, I know some people. So
Thank you so much, Rita. We appreciate it. We're going to link all that information to our website, gooddaysacramento.com. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Rita.